Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 4th and 5th of April 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible and you have to subscribe our channel if you are new on this platform. Friends, you can download our application. Application name is Careers Cloud and you can download from the description box link. We put a downloading link in the description box. You can download very easily. And after downloading, this first window will appear if you open this application and you can log in with your email ID. And after login, this second window will appear and you have to click on this crack current affair section. If you click on the crack current affair section, then you can get 1 year subscription. It means you can subscribe 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription. It means for 2021 as well as for 2021 and 22, and both the subscription prices are very much low. But why you have to purchase this subscription? It means what we are providing under this subscription and how it will beneficial for your exam. We are providing the daily current affair section. In the daily current affair sections, we are providing three type of the sections. Like first is the detailed current affairs of particular day. Next is question and answer format of the current affairs of particular day. Next is the quiz section. It means from our application, you can test that how much current affair you can retain for particular day. Next is the weekly current affair section, and again we are providing three type of the sections as same as the daily. Like you will get the weekly current affairs in the detail section and it will also provided in the PDF format. Next you will get the question and answer format of the current affairs and it is also on the weekly basis. Next is the quiz section from our application and you can attempt this quiz only from our application and you can test that how much current affair you can retain on weekly basis. Next is the monthly section and it is the most important section because we are providing so many PDFs under this section. Like one is the study PDF. It means you will get the detailed current affair of particular month, the detailed and the theoretical current affair. Next is to revise these current affair, we are also providing the question and answer PDF of this detailed current affair. It means you can revise again and again in format of question and answer. Next, we are also providing the best 100 current affairs. It is also provided in the format of question and answer so that you can revise these questions before your exam. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair quickly before your exam. So guys, this is daily, weekly and monthly section, but we are also providing the smart PDFs. Smart PDFs means you can revise the current affair before your exam very easily by these topic PDFs. Because in some exams appointments are important, in some exams like sports section is very important. So that's why if you want to revise only the appointments, only the books and authors, then you have to require this topic PDF. And we are providing 20 type of the topic PDF like apps and web portals, important days, books and authors are there, national current affair, international current affairs, appointments are there. So there are 20 type of the PDFs. Next, if you are banking aspirants, then we are also providing the two type of sections per month, especially for the banking aspirants. One is the banking and economy PDF and this contains very best current affairs of banking and economy and it is also provided in the format of question and answer. Next is the quiz section. It means these current affairs you can test that how much current affair you can retain and this quiz can be attempted only on our application. Next is the exam PDF. It is very important for every exam. We are compiling the current affairs every month under this PDF. So this is very important. Next is special current affair. It means special means budget, economic survey or any type of the government scheme which was launched for special purpose. We covered under the special current affair section. So you will get the detailed budget and the economic survey. It means very important points related to budget and economic survey and expected question which can be asked in any exam. Next, we are providing the state current affairs because students who are preparing for the national exams also preparing for the state exams and we are covering every state and the union territory, so you will get the state current affair as well. So all these things like smart PDFs, banking awareness, state current affairs and daily, weekly and the monthly current affairs under one subscription, and you can get this subscription by clicking on this crack current affair section and after clicking you can purchase a 1 year subscription. It means for only for 2021 and you can also subscribe 2021 and 22 subscription. Both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprised to see the price. And guys, on that minimal price, we are providing 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get definitely 10% extra discount. But if you want to purchase 2020 subscription, then you have to visit our website. Website name is affairscloud.com/current affair. Then you can get 6-month current affair as well as full 1 year current affair for 2020. And you can also use this code ASH10 for 2020 subscription. Now let us discuss today's current affair, that is 4th and 5th of April 2021. But I am again requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe our channel if you are new on this platform. And what is the target of likes? 700 plus likes is a target. So let us start with the most important question section, and here is our first question. Which state became the first state to commission solar power project under Prime Minister Kusum scheme? So two things are very important under this question. One is the name of the state, as such in the question we are covering this, and second, this scheme, that is PM Kusum scheme, and when it was started and what comes under this PM Kusum scheme. So first of all, let's discuss about PM Kusum scheme. PM Kusum scheme was launched in 2019. What is the meaning of this PM Kusum? PM Kusum stands for Prime Minister Kisan Urja Suraksha एवं उत्थान महाअभियान. So this scheme was launched in 2019, and what was the objective? It was launched with the objective of providing financial and the water security. So what was the target of this full scheme of Prime Minister Kusum Yojana? It is to add solar power and other renewable capacities of 25,750 megawatt by the year of 2022 with financial support of 34,422 crore. So this is the target basically. So you have to remember, especially if you are preparing for the UPS exam or EPFO exam, then you have to remember what is the target of PM Kusum. It was launched in 2019, and main objective for providing financial and the water security to the farmers, and it is to add solar and the other renewable capacity of 25,750 megawatt by the year of 2022. And central government will provide how much assistance? Central government will provide 34,422 crore rupees of assistance. So guys, you have to remember, and its main objective is again to double the farmer income by the year of 2022. And friend, this PM Kusum scheme comes under which ministry? It comes under Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. And who is the Union Minister of this ministry? Union Ministry is Rajkumar Singh. He has independent charge of this ministry. Remember, Rajkumar Singh. Now comes to the question. So question is, first state to commission solar power project under PM Kusum scheme, and this state is Rajasthan, guys. So guys, remember, the state is Rajasthan. So remember, who is the Chief Minister of Rajasthan? Ashok Gehlot is the Chief Minister. Governor is Kalraj Mishra, and very important national parks. You have to remember 4 very important national parks in Rajasthan. One is the Desert National Park in Rajasthan. Next, Keoladeo Gana. Next is Ranthambore National Park. That is very, very important, Ranthambore National Park. And next is the Sariska National Park. So these 4 national parks are very important in Rajasthan. So you have to remember this. So guys, you can see here, Rajasthan Renewable Energy Corporation Limited commissioned the country's first farm-based solar power project under the Kusum scheme, and it will be established specially in which place? Kotputli. And Kotputli is exactly in which district of the Rajasthan? It is in Jaipur. So you have to remember this. If the examiner is asking about the exact place, then answer is Jaipur, or exact place you can also remember Kotputli. You can see here, exact place is Kotputli, and it is in Jaipur. It has a capacity of 1 megawatt. So total capacity is 1 megawatt. If you belongs to Rajasthan, then you have to remember this. And it is spread over 3.5 acre semi-barren land. It means land is not so much fertile that we can do some farming. So that's why it is known as the semi-barren land. And total area is 3.5 acre. It allows farmer to generate additional revenue through the installation of the solar power plant in less productive or the barren land. It means if any farmer belongs to Rajasthan and he has barren land, it means the wasteland, then he can install this solar power plants, and the power generated by the project will be purchased by Rajasthan Vidut Vitaran Nigam Limited. It means the electricity company of the Rajasthan will purchase that, and it is purchased at a rate of 3.14 per unit. So it means the farmers can enhance their income by installing these solar projects, and they can sell this extra energy to the Rajasthan electricity department. So this is the main initiative of the PM Kusum and the Rajasthan government. So guys, remember all the information which I told you, and now we can move to the next question. So next question is, who received Kaling Ratan Samman 2021? So mark this question under the most important question, and we can eliminate the answer. So first option is the Pandit Satish Vyas. He can't be the answer because he won Tansen Award. Tansin Music Award, and it was the 96th Music Award of 2020. So remember this. Next, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji, our Union Minister of Education, won Sahitya Gaurav Samman. That is the most important question. Sahitya Gaurav Samman Award of 2021. 2021. He won this in January 2021. Next is Dr. Sharan Kumar Limbale. Remember this. He won Saraswati Samman Award. Saraswati Samman Award of 2020 for his Marathi novel Sanatan. So these three cannot be answer. Answer of this question is Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan, and he is currently the governor of which state? He is currently the governor of Andhra Pradesh, guys. He is currently the governor of Andhra Pradesh. So guys, remember about Kalinga Ratna Samman Award, and Kaling is in which state? Kaling is in Odisha. And by Kaling you can remember the Kaling War, which was fought by Ashok in 261 before Christ, and after this battle Ashok transformed and he diverted his path to the Buddhism. So that's why this battle is very important in the Ashoka's life. And remember, Kaling War was happened in 261 before Christ, and Kaling is in which state? Odisha. So that's why this Kalinga Ratan Samman Award is associated with which state? Odisha. And friends, you can also remember the award recognized the person of Odisha who was contributed to any field at the national or international level. It means I am talking about any person of Odisha who has contributed to the field at the national or international level, especially in the literature or any type of the field. And guys, you are thinking about that this person belongs to Andhra Pradesh like Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan. No, he belongs to Odisha, but he is currently the governor of Andhra Pradesh. You can also see the picture of the Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan, and he received Kalinga Ratan Award of 2021. So you can see here, Kalinga Ratan Samman is an annual award instituted by the Sarla Sahitya Sansad in 2007. And this Sarla Sahitya Sansad was basically established with the memories of Adi Kavi Sarla Das. And this is the 600th, this year, it is the 600th birth anniversary of the Adi Kavi Sarla Das. If you belongs to Odisha, then it is very important. So the award recognizes the person of Odisha. It means it is only given to the person of Odisha who has contributed to any field at the national or the international level. He was also elected as the MLA, Member of Legislative Assembly of Odisha 5 times. So that's why he was very famous personality in Odisha. And Harichandan was authored several books, some of which include Marubatas, don't remember, just remember Mahasangram, Mahanayak, Bakshi Jangbandhu, and Paika Rebellion or the Paika Mutiny, and his autobiography, that is Sangrakshak Sarinahi. So it is not Sangrakshak, basically it is Sangharsh Sarinahi. So it is an autobiography of Andhra Pradesh Governor Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan. So remember all the things which I told you, and we are moving to the next question. But you can also remember recently one person was awarded with the Maharashtra Ratan Award. It is also known as the Maharashtra Bhushan Award, and recently this was given to Asha Bhonsle, and it was given to the Maharashtra citizen. So remember these things, these are very important. Now we can move to the next question. Which country will host AIBA 2023 Men's Boxing World Championship? And we are talking about 2023, and it is biennial event. It means it was held in 2019, 2021, and it will be held in 2023. In 2021, it will be hosted by which country? It will be hosted by Serbia, Belgrade. And in 2023, it will be hosted by Uzbekistan, and it is the highest tournament in the category of the boxing. And it is the first time that Uzbekistan is going to host the Boxing World Championship in 2023. And guys, remember in 2021, which country is hosting Men's Boxing World Championship? It is Serbia in 2021. And if we are talking about the women category in 2021, then boxing championship in women category will be hosted by Poland. So this is the most important because it is the recent year we are covering, 2021. So women 2023 till not announced. So that's why we are not covering 2023 women. So I am repeating again so that you can give right answer in the exam. So Poland will host 2021 Women Championship in boxing, Women Boxing World Cup basically. Serbia will host 2021 Men's Boxing World Cup. Uzbekistan will host 2023, and exact place is Tashkent. Tashkent is a capital of Uzbekistan, and it will be also men Boxing World Cup. France will host 2024 Summer Olympics. So guys, remember Summer Olympics in 2024 will be hosted by France, Paris, and 2028 will be hosted by which country? It will be hosted by Los Angeles, and it is in United States of America. And friends, you can also remember about AIBA. AIBA stands for International Boxing Federation or International Boxing Association. President is Umar Kremlev. I am writing here Umar Kremlev. And where is the headquarter? Headquarter is in Lausanne. Lausanne is in which country? It is in Switzerland. And this organization was founded in 1946, but year is not so much important. Just remember the headquarter of International Boxing Association, and headquarter is in Lausanne, Switzerland. And remember about Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan capital is Tashkent, and currency is Uzbekistani Som. Now, you can also see here the 2023 Men's Boxing Championship to be held in Uzbekistan capital, Tashkent. And you can also see here the 2023 host city will be Uzbekistan. And this event, like boxing championship, will be held biennially. It means once in every 2 years. And in 2019, it was conducted by Russia. In 2021, it will be conducted by Serbia. And in 2023, it will be conducted by Uzbekistan. And recently, you have to remember that Indian boxing contingent finished with 12 medals at the 30th Youth International Boxing Tournament, which is also known as the Adriatic Pearl Tournament, and it is held in Montenegro. So guys, you have to just remember that India won the 12 medals in the Adriatic Pearl Boxing Tournament, which will be hosted by which country? It is hosted by the Montenegro. And guys, remember the country which topped in the medal tally in this tournament, that is also Uzbekistan. Remember, it is also Uzbekistan. India's rank is on second point. So India is on the second point. India won the 12 medals in this event, or you can also remember Adriatic Pearl Tournament. Now we can move to the next question. Which state became the first state to provide health insurance for all its residents? We covered this question in the very important section in the last 5 to 6 days, that this state launched one scheme that is known as Chiranjeevi scheme. Chiranjeevi insurance scheme. And this scheme will cover all the citizens or all the residents of this state. And this state is again, guys, Rajasthan. We are covering Rajasthan today 2 times. And firstly, we covered the first state who implemented the PM Kusum scheme, and this is the Rajasthan again. And now Rajasthan is the first state to provide health insurance for all its residents, and it is a 5 lakh rupees insurance per year per family. So you have to remember, it is same as the Ayushman Bharat scheme or the Jan Arogya scheme. So many states are basically changing the name of this scheme, like Punjab government launched this scheme with the name of the Sehat. So it is the Rajasthan, and Rajasthan is the first state to provide health insurance for all its residents. And if the examiner is asking about union territory, first union territory who is providing the health insurance for all its residents, then it is Jammu and Kashmir. So you can also remember about the UT. So it is Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Rajasthan become the first state to provide health insurance for its all residents. And recently Rajasthan started which scheme? Mukhyamantri Chiranjeevi Swasthya Bima Yojana. And this scheme was announced in the budget of 2021-22 of the Rajasthan government. And all the families, like individual families or the any type of the families under Ayushman Bharat Mahatma Gandhi Rajasthan Swasthya Bima Yojana can also avail this scheme. Even all the individuals, all the families which are already covered under this scheme, it means Ayushman Bharat Mahatma Gandhi Rajasthan Swasthya Bima Yojana, can also avail this type of the scheme. And this announcement was made in the budget of 2021-22 of the Rajasthan. And guys, remember, this scheme is worth rupees 3,500 crore rupees. If you belongs to Rajasthan, then this line is important, which I am now telling you. The scheme is worth rupees 3,500 crore and provide free insurance to all families under BPL category, it means below poverty line category, National Food Security Act of 2013, and socio-economic caste census, it means all the families of the state. And recently Rajasthan also approved District Innovation Fund scheme. And under this scheme, every district will be allocated rupees 1 crore per year. And funds will be provided to each district for work related to public utility, asset creation as per the local needs. It means nodal department of this scheme at the state level will be the rural government, like Jila Parishad will be there and panchayats will be there. So that's why they can basically create employment opportunities. They can also create the assets for the government. So it is 1 crore rupees will be provided to each district. If you belong to Rajasthan, again this line is important. Chief Minister, Governor and the national parks we already covered in the first question. Now we can move to the next question. So all the most important questions we covered. Now we are moving to the very important question. So guys, I am telling you again that you have to like this video, and we have a target of 700 plus like. You have to share as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel. If you are new on this platform, it means if you are watching this video for the first time. Now first question in the very important section: which company launched cryptocurrency checkout service in the United States of America? So especially first of all you have to remember that it is only for the United States of America. It is only for the United States of America, and this company is PayPal. So remember, this company is PayPal. So in simple word, you can say that PayPal has started allowing United States consumers to use their cryptocurrency holding to pay its online merchants globally. It means now they can use the cryptocurrency and they can pay through the cryptocurrency. And in the PayPal digital wallet, they can basically hold so many cryptocurrencies, like they mentioned some, like Bitcoin, Ether is there, Bitcoin Cash is there, Litecoin is there, and there are so many cryptocurrencies under which Paytm wallets can be held, and they can able to convert their holding into the fiat currency at checkout to make purchases. And guys, remember about PayPal. PayPal headquarters is in San Jose. San Jose is in which country? San Jose is in United States of America, and it is in which state of United States of America? Exact place is California. So you can also remember this. So you can, if you belongs to United States, then United States consumer to use their cryptocurrency holding to pay its online merchants globally if you are using the PayPal. PayPal digital wallets, like consumers can hold Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, will be able to convert their holding into the fiat currency and checkouts to make purchases. So it means if you are paying through the PayPal, then you can use the cryptocurrency. And headquarters of PayPal is in San Jose, California. President and CEO is not important, but you can remind that the name is Dan Schulman. So now we can move to the next question. Which bank bought the Reliance Center for Reliance Infrastructure Limited at Santa Cruz, Mumbai, Maharashtra for rupees 1200 crores? And this is basically Reliance Infrastructure Limited, and this company is a holding of Anil Ambani, not a Mukesh Ambani holding. So guys, remember, it is a holding of Anil Ambani, and Anil Ambani is currently in debt, and the debt is with the Yes Bank. So that's why this is purchased or you can say the bought by Yes Bank for rupees 1200 crores. By which bank? By Yes Bank. So recently in May 2020, Yes Bank has issued the demand notice to Reliance Infrastructure Limited for non-payment of loans amounting almost rupees 3000 crore. And in July 2020, Yes Bank took over the possession of the Reliance Center at Santa Cruz, which served as the headquarters of the Anil Ambani Group. And it means both Yes Bank and the Reliance Infra have agreed to formalize this into a sale deal. So that's why they agreed to convert into a sale deal. So it is a very low amount if you are covering so much area in the Santa Cruz area, like it is covering almost 21,432 square meter area, and this is a very low price which is given by the Yes Bank, only 1200 crore rupees for that. And it is a non-payment loan of almost about 3000 crore. You don't have to remember this figure. And Reliance Center in Santa Cruz is a headquarter of the Anil Ambani's group, and the sale of asset by R Infra is a part of the aim to become debt free in the year of 2021. It is a aim of the Anil Ambani group that they have to become debt free in year of 2021. Even recently, they sold 74% stake in the Power Grid Corporation. It is also the corporation of the Anil Ambani. And guys, the bank is very important. You have to remember about Yes Bank. First, I have to rub this. Yes Bank, MD and CEO is Prashant Kumar. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And it was started in 2004. And guys, remember one thing more important, the tagline is experience or expertise. This is the tagline of Yes Bank. Don't remember about Reliance Infrastructure. It is not so much important. Just remember it is a Anil Dhirubhai Ambani's group. Just remember. Now we can move to the next question. Bharat Dynamics Limited started the delivery of the Akash missile to the Indian Army. Akash missile is a dash missile, like surface to air, surface to surface, air to air, or none of these. So Akash is basically developed by the Bharat Dynamics, and it is not only for the Indian Army, it will be also used by the Indian Air Force. Indian Air Force. And it is very capable missile, and it is surface to air missile. By the name you can guess that it is a Akash. It means it will be launched to Akash or the Asman, and that's why it is known as the surface to air missile system. So you can see here Bharat Dynamics Limited flags of Akash missile for delivery to the Indian Army as well as the Indian Air Force, and BDL manufacture this missile both for the Indian Army and Indian Air Force, and the 96% content is used as a indigenous content. It means it will also promote the Make in India concept, or you can say the Atmanirbhar Bharat or the self-reliant Bharat, because recently we covered this news that 33% of the imports of Indian arms decrease. So it means it is a very good news for India that we are focusing on the indigenously content, and this content is basically designed and developed by which organization? It is developed by the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. So don't confuse with the ISRO. Many students are confusing with the ISRO and the DRDO. ISRO headquarters is in Bengaluru, head is K. Sivan. DRDO headquarters is in New Delhi. Remember, it is not in Bengaluru, and its head is G. Satish Reddy. G. Satish Reddy. And what is the range of this Akash missile? Maximum range is 25 km, and altitude, it means it can be fired at a height of 20 km. And it was inducted in 2014 in Indian Air Force. It means first time it is used by the Indian Air Force, and in 2015 it is inducted by the Indian Army. And India has to set a target of achieving USD 5 billion in defense exports by 2024. It means we will export the defense equipments by the year of 2024, which will worth about USD 5 billion. Even Ministry of Defense has also set a target of 1.75 lakh crore rupees turnover in the defense manufacturing by year of 2025. 1.75 lakh crore turnover in the defense manufacturing by the 2025. So it is a Make in India concept. And guys, remember about Bharat Dynamics Limited. Bharat Dynamics Limited means headquarter, you have to remember. Hyderabad is the headquarter. It means I am talking about which state? Telangana. And friends, you can also remember the other examples like surface to air missile. One is Akash. Second, you can remember Trishul. Trishul is also a surface to air missile. Surface to air missile, its range is almost 12 km. Like Akash range is almost 25 km. Next, you can take the example of surface to surface air missile. And surface to surface air missile is like Prithvi missile is there. Prithvi, by the earth, you can remember that is Prithvi, surface to surface missile. One, you can take the example of Shaurya. Shaurya is also a surface to surface missile. Surface to surface missile. You can also take the example of the BrahMos, but it is basically a supersonic cruise missile. Next, you can take the example of one more missile, that is Prahar. Prahar is also a surface to surface missile. But third is air to air missile. You have to remember air to air missile is Astra. Astra is air to air missile. This is important because air to air missiles are very much less. So that's why you have to remember the Astra. So remember, I am repeating again, surface to air missiles are Akash, Trishul. These are very two important examples. Surface to surface, Prithvi, Shaurya and Prahar. Air to air is Astra. If any students know more, then you can comment in the comment box. Now we can move to the next question. The World Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank have approved the loan for the 300 million USD canal-based drinking water project in which state? So I am giving you hint that this state has two districts under which this project will be established. One is the Ludhiana and second is Amritsar. So these two districts is selected for this canal-based drinking water project, and these two districts belongs to which state? These two districts belongs to Punjab. So why the Punjab has started this canal-based drinking water? It is to ensure the quality of drinking water and to minimize the water loss for especially these two districts like Ludhiana and the Amritsar. And guys, remember in the Amritsar, it will be applied, or you can say the this project will be started on which river? It will be started on the Ravi river. It is one of the very famous river of Punjab. And in Ludhiana, it will be started on the Satluj river. And recently we covered Satluj is basically a longest river of Indus, it means the longest tributary of Indus, and Satluj is also the longest river of Punjab. I think almost length of this river is, Satluj length is 1450 kilometer, and it is the longest river of Punjab, and it is the longest tributary of Indus. Not the largest, because largest tributary is the Chenab. Chenab is the largest tributary of the Indus. Now you can see here, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and the World Bank approved loan of 300 million USD canal-based drinking water project to Punjab. And how the funding will affect? World Bank will provide $100 million. Asian Infrastructure Bank will provide 105 million. It means they will provide the same, and Government of Punjab will provide 90 million USD. It means all the three are sharing, not only the World Bank and Asian Infrastructure Bank is providing. So the canal based drinking water project of Punjab is Amritsar project and the Ludhiana project, and it is to ensure the quality of drinking water and to minimize the water losses for the Amritsar and the Ludhiana. And recently, guys, state government of Himachal Pradesh also gets some type of the loan from the World Bank, and it is approximately $82 million. It means 600 crore loan to strengthen its transport and the road safety. It means to improve the conditions, safety, resilience, and the engineering standard of the state road network. It means Punjab is getting loan from the World Bank for the drinking water, and Himachal Pradesh is getting loan from the World Bank for the transport and the road safety. So you have to remember this, and you can write this from on your notebook. And guys, remember about World Bank and Asian Infrastructure Bank. In the World Bank, you have to remember all the things, like World Bank was established in 1944, and World Bank was established in 1944 with the IMF, International Monetary Fund. That's why these two organizations like International Monetary Fund and World Bank, both combinedly known as the Bretton Woods Twins. Bretton Woods Twins, because it was created in Bretton Woods in United States of America. And who is the head of World Bank? Head of World Bank is, it means President of World Bank is David Malpass. And how many countries are member? 189 countries are member, but IMF member countries are 190. Recently, Andorra was added in IMF. And guys, remember, where is the headquarter? Headquarter of both the organization, like International Monetary Fund and World Bank, is established in Washington, DC. And old name of the World Bank is IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. We covered this question in the daily questions, or you can say the question of the day. And guys, remember about the Punjab. Punjab Chief Minister is Captain Amrinder Singh, and Governor is VP Singh Badnor. VP Singh Badnor is also the administrator of which UT? Chandigarh, because Chandigarh is the capital of the Punjab and Haryana. And friends, you can also remember that there is no national park in Punjab. No national parks, only the wildlife sanctuaries are in Punjab. So no national park, but you can remember the Ramsar site. Ramsar sites in the Punjab, because 3 were recently created and 3 were already existing. So it means total 6 Ramsar sites existed in Punjab. And total how many Ramsar sites are in India? Total 42 Ramsar sites are in India. Like you can say the recently Sokar was announced as a Ramsar site. Sokar wetland is in Ladakh. And you can also remember in one in the Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, it was the Lonar Lake. Lonar Lake, it was announced recently as a Ramsar site. And in UP, there was a very famous Sur Sarovar. Sur Sarovar was announced as a wetland. So you can remember these 3 wetlands which was announced recently. And in Punjab, there are very famous Beas Conservation Reserve. So a Beas Conservation Reserve has a very importance value, because it is the only river conservation reserve recognized as a Ramsar site. Ramsar site means I am talking about the wetlands. Next is Harike Lake. Harike is a place where Satluj and Beas basically confluencing. Next there is a Kanjli Lake. Kanjli Lake. Next there is a Keshopur Mani. It was announced recently. Keshopur Mani in 2022, I think, starting. And Nangal Wildlife Sanctuary. Nangal is a dam on the Satluj River. And next is the Ropad Lake. Remember, Ropad Lake. So these 6 wetlands are situated in Punjab. Beas Conservation, Harike, Kanjli, Keshopur, Nangal and the Ropad. Now we can move to the next question. World Trade Organization in its trade forecast revised its global merchandise trade volume growth for 2021 too. It means earlier World Trade Organization estimated some growth in the trade like 7.2%, but now they revised this growth rate to 8%. It means the answer is B. So earlier they forecasted 7.2% growth in the 2021 trade, but now they predicted that growth will increase by the 8%. So friends, you can remember one table. I am basically drawing one table. that for 2019 the growth of world trade was 0.2%. It means it was very much small. In 2020, due to COVID, it was contracted by minus 5.3%. It means it was negative. In 2021, they are predicting how much growth? 8%. Because of 2020 there was no trade, so it is expected that trade will increase. In 2022 the trade will decrease, but the total growth will be the 4%. So this is the table which is predicted by the World Trade Organization. You can just remember this. And remember about World Trade Organization, this organization was established in 1995. Its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and it is created under the Uruguay Round Negotiation. The question can be asked that Uruguay Round Negotiation is associated with which organization? So remember, URUGUAY, Uruguay Round Negotiation is associated with World Trade Organization. And who is the Director General? This is the most important question. We also covered this question. That is Ngozi. Ngozi from the Nigeria become the first woman Director General of the World Trade Organization. And how many countries are member? 164 countries are member. So you can remember United Nations 193 countries, 193. And remember IMF 190 countries, World Bank 189 countries, and World Trade Organization 164 countries, Asian Development Bank 68 countries. So you have to remember, and I will definitely revise all the things again and again so that you can recall this on your exam time. So answer of this question is 8%. So you can see here, World Trade Organization revised India overall world trade, not for India, overall world trade for 8% growth. And you can also see there 2020 they are predicted minus 5.3% decline, and they also predicted for the European Union and the North America, but we don't have to remember this. And Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala from the Nigeria was appointed as the 7th Director General of World Trade Organization. This is the most important question, and this question will come 100%. So I am giving you a surety that this question will come 100% in any type of the exam. Now we can move to the next question. World Bank approves United States $32 million project to improve healthcare services in which state? So we covered that World Bank is giving $105 million to the Punjab for the water. World Bank is also giving so much amount like almost $85 million to Himachal Pradesh for the road safety. Now they are giving 32 million USD for the healthcare services of which state? Healthcare services of the Mizoram. It means this project will help Mizoram to improve quality certification at the health facilities, enhance human resources, and improve health insurance and other innovations. It means the main focus is just preventing out of pocket expenditure for health by poor families and expanding coverage, and to invest in a comprehensive quality assurance program for enabling quality certification of the health facilities. So the outcomes which can be expected like improvement in the delivery of quality health services, enhancement of the planning and management capabilities of the healthcare personnel, and a more effective state health insurance program. And guys, always remember about the Mizoram. Mizoram has a largest percentage wise area of the forest. Largest percentage wise forest area that lies in the Mizoram, and there are very important two national parks in Mizoram. One is the Murlen National Park, remember this is very important, and the second is Blue Mountain National Park. Blue Mountain National Park. And who is currently the Chief Minister of Mizoram? Mizoram Chief Minister is Zoram Thanga. Zoramthanga. Zoram Thanga. And who is the governor? Governor, you have to remember all the governors of the state. And I am covering, like we covered Rajasthan today, we covered Punjab today, and every day we are covering new states. So that's why you have to remember all the governors which we are covering. So who is the governor of Mizoram? P.S. Sridharan Pillai. You can just remember the name Pillai, P.S. Sridharan Pillai, and he was the governor of Mizoram from the year of 2019. So now we can move again. World Bank approved $32 million to improve the health services in the Mizoram, and you can also see here it is just to enhance the health facilities and human resources, improve health insurance and the other innovations. So just remember, and the major health issues facing Mizoram are the increasing burden of non-communicable diseases. This is the major burden that is faced by the Mizoram, and even almost 50% of the problems which are related to the health issue are because of the non-communicable diseases. So that's why it have to tackle, and Mizoram is now tying up with the World World Bank for this. Now we can move to the next question because we covered all the things about World Bank. Next is the important question section, but I am again requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, and we have to achieve this target 700 plus likes. You have to share this video as maximum as possible because we need your support, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are watching this video for the first time. It means if you are new on this platform. So first question in the important section is, which country has contributed 3 lakh USD, it means almost 2.2 crore rupees, to the United Nations entity for gender equality and the empowerment of women? It means, in simple word, you can say that India contributed 2.2 crore rupees to the United Nations Women. So answer of this question is India. So guys, India reaffirms its support for gender equality and the women empowerment. That's why the India is donating so much, basically not donating, India is contributing so much money to the United Nations Women, so that the money can be spent on the gender equality and the empowerment of women. And India has been working for the women empowerment at the global stage, because in September 2020, you can see we covered this question in the September news, that India along with Afghanistan was elected for the members of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. And this is a body of Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. And in August 2020, India also co-sponsored the United Nations Security Council resolution tabled by Indonesia for the greater participation of the women in peacekeeping forces, so that maximum to maximum women participation can be increased in the peacekeeping forces. And India also supported the Indonesia agreement. And guys, remember about the United Nations Women. This entity is created by the United Nations General Assembly in the year of 2010, and it is only for the gender equality and the empowerment of the women, so that India is contributing so much amount. And where is the headquarter of United Nations Women? Headquarter is in New York, United States of America. So India contribute $3 lakh to United Nations Women and United Nations entity for gender equality and the empowerment of women. And it was created in which year? 2010, by the United Nations General Assembly. And guys, remember the most important point under this question, which I covered, that in September 2020, India and Afghanistan was elected as the member of United Nations Commission of the Status of Women, and it is a body of the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. Now we can move to the next question. Next question is the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. It is a body created by the Government of India and made its first investment in the health sector by its investment in which hospital? First of all, the most important thing under this question is this body, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. It is created by the Government of India. It is a collaborative investment platform for international and domestic investors, and it invests across assets classes such as the infrastructure, private equity, and other diversified sectors with the objective to generate attractive risk-adjusted returns. It means it will create assets to the government so that government income can be enhanced. So this body is created by the government to invest in so many companies. And now it is the first investment of this National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, and this is in the health sector. And in which hospital chain? It is in Manipal Hospital chain. And guys, remember, recently Manipal Hospitals purchased 100% stake of Columbia Asia Hospital. It means Columbia Asia Hospital is a well-renowned hospital chain, and its 100% stake is purchased by Manipal Hospital. You can also remember this. And who is the MD and CEO of Manipal Hospital? It is not so much important. Just read this. MD and CEO is Dilip Jose. But just read this. It is not so much important. You can remember the MD and CEO of the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. MD and CEO is Sujay Bose. You can remember this rather than this, Dilip Jose. Just remember Sujay Bose. You can see here, Manipal Hospitals get 2100 crore investment from the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. So NIFL will get a minority stake in the Manipal Hospitals by investing 2100 crore rupees. And in January 2021, I already covered that, all the 100% stake of Columbia Asia Hospital purchased by the Manipal Health Enterprises. And it is the first infrastructure specific investment fund or a sovereign wealth fund that was set up by the Government of India to create the assets. And it is a collaborative investment platform for the international and the domestic investor, and anyone can invest under this platform in India. And MD and CEO is the Sujay Bose of NIFL. Now we can move to the next question because we covered all the points. So next is the one-liner important point. Here is the first point. World Frog Day 2021 was observed on 20th of March. It is not so much important day, but you can just read this, that World Frog Day is annually observed across the globe on the 20th of March, and it is just to create awareness and save the different species of amphibians from being extinct, because World Frog Day was instituted in 2009. And guys, there is an interesting fact that there are more than 6,000 known species of frog, and out of which 4,800 type of frogs are found across the globe except for Antarctica. It means except Antarctica, 4,800 types of frogs are found across the globe. So this is the interesting fact about the frog. So you can remember this. Now we can move to the next point. New plant species named after National Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar. And this plant name is Argyria. Remember, Argyria. Argyria. So the new name of this Argyria plant is Argyria Sharad Chandra Ji. Remember, Argyria Sharad Chandra Ji, and NCP chairman is Sharad Pawar. And this political party is currently ruling in Maharashtra with the tie-up of the, or with the alliance of the Indian National Congress and the Shiv Sena. And currently Chief Minister of Maharashtra is Uddhav Thackeray. And guys, remember, this species is found in Western Ghats of India, or you can say the Western Ghats of the Maharashtra. Next, DRDO developed lightweight bulletproof jacket for the armed forces. Again, we are focusing on the Atmanirbhar Bharat or the self-reliant Bharat. That's why we are making so many things in India now. So we are making the bulletproof jackets, and it is developed by the DRDO. We all covered the DRDO points, like its headquarters is in New Delhi, and its head is G. Satish Reddy. Next, indigenous and tribal people best guardians of the forest, and it is a report of the Forest and Agriculture Organization report. Where is the headquarter of FAO? FAO headquarter is in Rome, Italy. So guys, remember, the best guardians of the forest are the indigenous people and the tribal peoples of that area. Next, Harshvardhan inaugurates event for promising DSIR PRISM scheme. So we already covered this initiative of the PRISM, which was also launched by the Atal Innovation Mission. And guys, what is the full form of this PRISM? PRISM stands for Promoting Innovation in Individuals, Startups and MSMEs. Remember, I am repeating again, promoting innovations in individuals, startups and MSMEs. So by default, you can guess that it is just to transforming an individual innovator into a successful an entrepreneur or the technopreneur by the promoting, supporting and funding commercially viable innovation which are created for the society. It means all the fund, all the support will be provided by the government or this Department of Science, but the idea should be innovative. So this is by the Harshvardhan, Union Minister of Science and Technology, and his constituency is Chandni Chowk. And he is also the Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare. Next is RBI tightened the security norms for the payment companies. So you can just read these norms. It is not so much important, but you can read from our website. This is not so much important. So guys, remember all the things under the one-liner point. Just read these points. Now we can move to the question of the day. And what was the question of 3rd of April 2021? Question was, which title given by the British government to Mahatma Gandhi and was surrendered during the non-cooperation movement? Actually, it was surrendered after the Jallianwala Bagh incident. And this award was given by Britishers after the participation of Gandhiji in the Boer War in South Africa by launching the Ambulance Corporation, because Gandhi saved so many lives of the Britisher in the Boer War by launching the Ambulance Corporation in 1899. But Gandhiji received this medal in 1915 by the Lord Hardinge, because this award was given by the Lord Hardinge at that time. And this award was Kesar-e-Hind, but due to Jallianwala Bagh incident, so many people died, and Gandhiji returned this medal to the Britishers. And also Rabindranath Tagore returned the knighthood, the title of the Sir, to the Britishers. So that is the Kesar-e-Hind medal. Now we are moving to the question of the day. What was the question of the day? The temperature of a liquid is 32 degree Fahrenheit. What is the temperature in the Celsius scale? So it is a very common question, and it is a very famous question. So you have to give me answer only in the comment box. Only in the comment box, guys. It was asked in 2016. Very less questions are remaining of 2016. After that, we will cover the banking questions which covered in the past exams. Guys, you have to provide us 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel. You have to like this video, and you can press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section if you are reading the PDFs daily and if you are watching the current affair daily. And to subscribe our PDF, you have to download our application, that is Careers Cloud, and the link is given in the description box for downloading this application. And you can purchase for 1 year, and you can also purchase for 2 years. It means for 24 months as well as for 12 months. price of both the subscription is very much low, and we are also providing the 10% extra discount on that minimal cost if you use this code ASH10. And guys, 90 to 95% current affairs which are coming in your exams are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is the genuinity of Affairs Cloud. This is the this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And I am always saying that don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Happiness is the key of success. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and take care. Bye bye.